Under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, the provisions relating to Document of Compliance, DOC, and Safety Management Certificate, SMC, are mainly found under Part V, Maritime Transport Safety and Security, specifically the subheading, Safe Operation of Ships, Sections 249AC to 249AO. Under Section 249AC, a certificate means either a document of compliance or a safety management certificate, while an interim certificate refers to an interim DOC or interim SMC. The same section defines a safety management system, SMS, as a structured and documented system that enables a company to implement its safety and environmental protection policy effectively within the company and on board its ships. This requirement applies under Section 249 AD to passenger ships, cargo ships of 500 gross tonnage and above, and offshore industry mobile units of 500 gross tonnage and above registered under the ordinance. The Surveyor General of Ships is responsible under Section 249 AF for the general direction and supervision of matters relating to the safe operation of ships and the protection of the environment. Every company must also appoint a designated person ashore, DPA, under Section 249 AG, who acts as the link between the company and shipboard personnel and ensures that adequate resources and shore-based support are provided. In addition, Section 249 AH1 requires every company to develop, implement, and maintain an SMS containing key elements such as a safety and environmental protection policy, safe operating procedures, clear authority and communication lines, accident and nonconformity reporting procedures, emergency response procedures, and internal audit and management review procedures. Under Section 249 AH4, failure to comply with the SMS requirements or failure to notify the Surveyor General of Ships of amendments to the SMS within 30 days may result in a fine not exceeding Rm 50,000, imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years, or both. The issuance of the DOC and SMC is provided under Section 249 AJ. Under Section 249 AJ1, the Surveyor General of Ships may issue a document of compliance to a company after receiving an application and verifying that the company has complied with the relevant requirements, subject to payment of the prescribed fees. Once the company has obtained the DOC, it must apply for a safety management certificate for each ship covered by the ship types stated in the DOC. Under Section 249 AJ2, the SMC may be issued when the Surveyor General of Ships is satisfied that both the company and its shipboard management operate in accordance with the approved SMS. Therefore, the DOC is issued to the company, while the SMC is issued to the ship. The Surveyor General may also impose conditions on the certificates under Section 249 AJ3, and may issue an interim certificate pending the issuance of the full certificate under Section 249 AJ4. However, under Section 249A6, a safety management certificate cannot be issued based on an interim document of compliance. The ordinance also provides controls after certification. Under Section 249K1, the Surveyor General of Ships may revoke a certificate or interim certificate if there is a contravention of the relevant provisions or rules, or if any condition of the certificate has been breached, provided that the certificate holder is first given a reasonable opportunity to make representation. Under Section 249AK2, where a DOC or interim DOC is revoked, any related SMC or interim SMC is also revoked. Upon revocation or expiry, Section 249AL1 requires the company or master to surrender the DOC, interim DOC, SMC, or interim SMC within the prescribed period. Failure to surrender the certificate under Section 249AL2 is an offense punishable by a fine not exceeding Rm 25,000. If the certificate is lost, defaced, or destroyed, Section 249AM allows the Surveyor General of Ships to issue a replacement upon application and payment of the prescribed fee, provided the company proves that it did not cause or contribute to the loss or damage. The enforcement power is further supported by Section 249AN, which allows the Surveyor General of Ships to board ships, enter premises, require information, demand production of certificates and relevant documents, and detain a ship for investigation. Under Section 249AN4, any person who refuses to comply with such requirements or gives false or misleading information may be liable to a fine not exceeding Rm 50,000, imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years, or both. Section 81 of the MSO 1952 supports ISM code implementation by mandating that every ship owner must ensure that the latest Malaysian legislations, Malaysia Shipping Notices, MSNs, international conventions, and maritime safety publications are readily accessible on board. Failure to comply is an offense punishable by a fine not exceeding Rm 25,000 per ship, as provided in Section 81(3). In Malaysia, the implementation of the ISM code is supported by a series of Malaysia Shipping Notices, MSNs, issued by the Malaysia Marine Department. The International Safety Management ISM code, implemented under SOLAS Chapter 9, establishes the international standard for the safe operation of ships and pollution prevention. In Malaysia, MSN 34/2008 states that SOLAS 1974-78 came into effect for Malaysia on the 19th of January 1984, and its enforcement is carried out through the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, including the requirements of SOLAS Chapter 9 on the management for the safe operation of ships. In support of this framework, MSN 25/2008 further requires Malaysian flag ships to carry relevant publications, circulars, legislation, conventions, codes, and manuals on board, and confirms that verifying these documents is an additional Malaysian flag requirement linked to the Safety Management System, SMS, implemented on board Malaysian ships. Under the ISM certification framework, a company must establish and maintain an effective SMS before obtaining a document of compliance, DOC, while each ship under that company must hold a valid Safety Management Certificate, SMC. This requirement was highlighted in JL 1/1997, which reminded shipping companies and ship managers to ensure that the company holds a DOC and that ships under its management hold an SMC. The same notice also states that the auditing and issuance of the DOC are conducted by the Malaysia Marine Department, while the auditing and issuance of the SMC are carried out by recognized classification societies. This was further clarified in JL 1/1998, which explains matters relating to interim DOC, interim SMC, the annual endorsement window for the DOC, and enforcement action against ships entering Malaysian ports without a verified SMS, including possible detention and prohibition from entering other Malaysian ports. The content and operation of the SMS are strengthened through the ISM code amendments adopted in MSN 25/2010 and MSN 28/2010, both of which refer to amendments concerning risk assessment, shipboard operations, emergency preparedness, corrective action, maintenance, internal safety audits, and certification or extension procedures for the SMC. These notices show that the SMS is not merely a document, but a working management system that must be reviewed, audited, and continuously improved to support safe shipboard operations and environmental protection. More recently, MSN 06/2023 provides that ship management companies with their principal place of business outside Malaysia may engage an MMD-authorized recognized organization, RO, to review the SMS manual and issue the DOC. It also addresses annual and renewal verification, withdrawal of DOC, reinstatement of DOC and/or SMC after major nonconformities, and additional verification where ships are detained during port state control, PSC inspections. For domestic passenger ferry operations in Langkawi, MSN 04/2015 specifically requires ship managers to implement an SMS in accordance with the Ferry Safety Guidelines, GPKF, issued by the Malaysia Marine Department. And companies that comply are issued a valid DOC by the Malaysia Marine Department. This DOC is also a mandatory requirement for the subsequent issuance of the passenger certificate for each ferry in operation. Therefore, the DOC and SMC are closely connected but serve different levels of certification. The DOC confirms that the company's SMS complies with the ISM code, while the SMC confirms that the individual ship is operated in accordance with the company's approved SMS and the ISM code. Together, these certificates provide statutory evidence of compliance, and failure to maintain valid certification may lead to detention, operational restrictions, or prohibition from entering ports. Together, these MSNs ensure that the ISM code and SOLAS Chapter 9 are fully and effectively applied within Malaysia's maritime regulatory framework. Based on the ship particulars provided, UUM Bole is required to comply with the International Safety Management (ISM) code and must be covered by a valid document of compliance (DOC). This requirement applies because the vessel is an oil tanker, is registered under the Malaysian flag, is engaged on an international voyage, and has a gross tonnage of 28,927 GT, which is well above the 500 GT threshold prescribed under SOLAS Chapter 9 Regulation 2. Under this regulation, the ISM code applies to oil tankers of 500 gross tonnage and above, with compliance required not later than 1st of July 1998. Since UUM Bole was built on the 7th of March 2005, the vessel clearly falls within the category of ships required to comply with the ISM code. Accordingly, UUM Oil Tanker SDN-BHD, as the ship management company, must establish, implement, and maintain a safety management system, SMS, in accordance with the ISM code and must hold a valid DOC issued by the Malaysia Marine Department. In addition, the ship itself must hold a valid Safety Management Certificate, SMC, issued by a recognized classification society / recognized organization, RO, such as Korean Register, KR, confirming that the vessel is operated in accordance with the company's approved SMS and the requirements of the ISM code. This requirement is especially important because the vessel carries oil cargo, operates internationally, and has 35 crew members, including the captain, all of which involve significant safety, pollution prevention, and environmental protection risks. Failure to maintain a valid DOC and SMC may result in port state control detention, operational restrictions, fines, or refusal of entry into foreign ports. Therefore, compliance with the ISM code is mandatory for UUM Bole to ensure safe ship operation, protection of the marine environment, and continued participation in international shipping activities.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.